Hi, I'm Kimberly Bautista.
And I'm Savannah Anderson. Our project for our film is Food Waste at the Dining Commons.
I've been employed now for about 6 months at Segundo Dining Commons as a student assistant.
I am also employed at Segundo Dining Commons as a student assistant. I've been there for 6, almost 7 months. As student assistants, we're really able to see a lot of the behind the scenes when it comes to stations, particularly the food waste when it comes to the lunch and the dinner rushes.
The food waste at the Dining Commons has been something that we have talked about prior to creating this film. We think that it's super disappointing to have to throw away so much untouched food at the end of the night. And we think that it's a topic that should be talked about way more since it's not a common thing to talk about.
A lot of the food waste really makes me uncomfortable, especially at the end of the night when I have to throw away so much. It makes me upset because I feel like I'm not supposed to be throwing away so much food.
I agree. I feel like there's so much more that can be done with the food, like donated or something along those lines. I feel like we've now had we've created a passion towards like not throwing away so much food that like we could do something more. This is why we've chosen to do our topic on these topic for this, so we can just explore more and find new ways to make a difference.
We really hope the film can shed some light on the food waste in the dining commons and that it can introduce a conversation, because I don't hear very many people talking about it or people who even notice that the food waste is going on in the dining commons.
What's your position at the Dining Commons?
So what I do is called utilities. It's mostly just, keeping bathrooms stocked and mostly taking out trashes for all the stations that the students eat at.
For how long have you been working at the DC?
The DC, it's been about 2.5 years now.
How much food waste do you think you throw away around each night?
Each night, every station has 1 or 2 garbages, and I clean them out about 3 or 4 times a night.
Do you know how big the gallons are, like of trash?
I believe they are 10 gallons, maybe more, maybe 20 actually. Not too sure on that one.
How are you today?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good. So I'm going to ask you a couple questions about the dining commons and the food waste in the dining commons, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So what's your position here at the dining commons?
Currently I'm a student assistant here at the Segundo Dining Commons.
Are you a student here? And if so, what year are you?
Yes, I'm actually a freshman here at UC Davis, and I do live on campus here in Segundo, which is great because it's really close to work.
How long have you been employed at Segundo?
I think it's going on about 5 months now.
In the dining commons, do you see a lot of food waste being thrown out? And if so, would you say it's a large quantity, a small, in the middle?
I really can't give you an exact amount, but I mean, I would say that I've seen a lot of food waste here going on, especially in the DC, obviously. There's just so many plates full of food that you just throw away and you see go straight to the trash.
Have you noticed any food waste in the dining commons that has particularly bothered you?
Yeah, actually, when I've been scheduled to work in the dish room, I usually see a bunch of food waste. I see a lot of plates with food that's been untouched or uneaten, and obviously we're forced to throw it in the trash because obviously we cannot serve it again and we can't eat it. And it's really sad considering that it is a ton of food that just goes straight to the trash.
So prior to this interview, have you thought about the food waste in the dining commons? Like, did you think about it going home or like in the moment, or has this just introduced you to the idea?
Yeah, actually, I mean, before you guys even came to talk to me, I have noticed and I've thought about how much food that we waste on a daily basis, not even just monthly or weekly. There is a ton of food that goes to waste every single day after every closing shift. And I think that we should be able to at least save some of it or salvage some of it that we can donate to food banks or to those who need it instead of just throwing it straight into the trash and starting over like new the next day. So yeah, it does.
Thank you for joining me for an interview today. So I'm going to be asking you a couple questions about the dining commons and your opinions on the food waste, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. So I have 4 questions for you. The first one being, what year are you at UC Davis and where do you live?
So I'm a first year student and I live at Cordo, but I tend to go and eat lunch and dinner at the Segundo Dining Commons since it's more convenient, you know?
Okay. So question 2 is, do you notice a lot of food waste in the dining commons during the dinner shift when you're there? And is that something that bothers you?
I do notice a lot of food around like 6 or 7. During the dinner rush, definitely. Whenever I go out and like put my dish at the dish return, I see like tons of plates with like uneaten food just sitting there. It's always a shock to me to like see so much food going to waste. And it's like it bothers me sometimes.
Do you think you personally waste a lot of food in the dining commons?
Personally, I think I'm pretty good when it comes to like food waste. Of course, sometimes I can't finish everything, but I never throw out like huge plates of food or grab too much, or at least more than I can eat. I try to minimize it as much as possible.
What do you think we could do to help minimize the food waste in the dining commons? Do you personally think that there's a solution to it?
Yeah, there's probably a solution, but not one that I can really think of that would be like effective. The students are paying for their own food and can pretty much do whatever they please. So it's not like we can like put a limit on what they can consume, but I think there are ways to help minimize the amount of food that goes to waste.
Well, thank you for interviewing with me. I really enjoyed all your responses and it's very helpful.